All right, so we want to look at some informational text. We've looked at kind of some informational text last week. The autobiography of Ben Franklin. We read that, and we really defined just to kind of we didn't define, but before we even looked at Franklin, I asked you guys what you thought about success, or what's your definition of success. If you remember, we talked about where success is. It really wasn't a hard definition, but you gave a definition when you listed a person. You gave we listed 5 people, and you took one of those persons and said this is what makes them successful, and so that's really how you view success. That's how, you putting that person there, that's your definition of success, a visual definition. So Ben Franklin, I'm going to show you his 13 virtues real quick for a reason, just to kind of refresh your memory. So there they are up there on the screen. You guys won't be able to see them behind me, but you won't, but you'll know what I'm looking at. Temperance, silence, order, resolution, frugality, industry, sincerity. He went through 13 of these. Really what he really wanted to do was to be morally perfect. He established a means to become, or at least what he thought would be, morally perfect. Again, he did this when he was 20, but he wrote about it when he was in his 50s, I think, when he was writing his autobiography. So what he was, he wasn't defining success, but yet he did define aspects of success. So within Ben Franklin's story, we can infer, use that English term, infer what success is. And to him, success is the process, being able to go to this, through the process and be happy with the outcome, whether you fail or whether you succeed. He failed at moral perfection. He really did. So that's something to think about. Today we're going to look at another view, and not Ben Franklin, but if you've already looked at the article, in our module we have what I call an Organ article. Now, it's Christine Organ, and she writes this article called A New Definition of Success. What is she going to do? Right off from the bat with that title of the article, what is she telling us? What's she going to do? All right, she's going to give us a new definition of success. Here's the thing I want you to keep in mind. We did it differently last week with the people. Everybody has a different person. Everybody has a different view of what success is. There are some similarities, but there are also differences as well. And so when we looked at Ben Franklin, and what we just discussed, he's from the 1800s. The 18th century, 1700s, 18th century. That's always confused me. So, we're in the 21st century now, but we're in the 2000s. So, but anyway, Christine Organ, writing in 21st century. So something to keep in mind. But we're going to read through a new definition of success, and I'm going to read it out loud, and then I'm going to let you answer some questions on it. But you're going to actually create a SWBST chart. What does she want? What's her purpose? What's the problem? And you're just trying to figure some things out. All right. So I guess I need to take I was trying not to take the agenda off, but there we go. I'll do it. Okay. It's a great quote up here that she comes up with. This is from a blog, by the way, the Huffington Post is the sponsor of it. So right away, I just want to throw you out some credibility. All right. A new definition of success. Success is not a victory or result, but a perpetual state of mind. It is learning from external paradigms of accomplishment while listening to a compassionate inner voice. Christine Organ, contributor. All right. We have become just a tiny bit obsessed with attaining success. Shows like Shark Tank and The Bachelor attempt to create everything from successful businesses to successful love lives. Sheryl Sandberg tells us how we should learn or lean in to attain business success. And the media and commentators have gone crazy debating whether women or men can or can't have it all. But what is success? Is success a corner office, a lucrative career, and a house that the neighbors envy? Does success come in the form of love, marriage, and 2.3 children? Is success popularity, sex appeal, and the admiration of peers? Or is success something different, something more obscure? Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines success as a favorable or desired outcome, which is oftentimes created based on external measurements. We look to external examples of success: neighbors, friends, colleagues, mentors, celebrities, business tycoons, parents, family members, even strangers on the street, to tell us what a favorable or desired outcome would be. As a writer and blogger, I look to Anne Lamott and Glennon Doyle Melton as measures of success. As a parent, I look to the mom who managed to stop yelling for a year as an example of parenting success. As a woman, I look to the girl next to me at the gym running 8-minute miles, or the celebrities who grace the pages of my U.S. Weekly magazine wearing itsy-bitsy bikinis and flaunting flat abs, clear skin, and well-coiffed hair. As a wife, I look to the easygoing, sexy, supportive partner who dotes on her husband with nary an objection or complaint. As an introvert but wannabe extrovert, I look to the popular queen bees chatting with their troop of minions outside the playground every day. Each of these people are the epitome of favorable outcomes. And it would be hard enough to measure success against these external models in their specific areas of expertise alone, but to make matters worse, I mentally combine each of these images of success to create a composite, idealized persona. A beautiful, physically fit, best-selling author who never yells at her kids, has tons of friends, and never snaps at her husband. In comparison to this fictional modern-day Barbie, I am undoubtedly a fumbling failure. My career is filled with almost and close calls, but the prize is almost just out of reach. I can't make it more than a couple of days without yelling at my kids, much less a whole year. I can barely run a couple of miles at the modest pace. I have a perpetual 3-month post-baby's belly bump. Laugh lines outline occasional acne. My hair is usually in a ponytail or under a hat to conceal the fact that I've gone a few days without washing it. And as much as I am wildly in love with my husband, I am shamefully outspoken and dramatic, often misplacing my stress and frustrations on him. I wouldn't want to marry her. Sorry, that wasn't in the script. Given the unattainability of success as measured by this composite ideal, many suggest a more personal standard of success. As Maya Angelou says, success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. While this definition does seem more relaxed than the unattainable success of a fictional, flawless person, it is still a little tricky. You see, although I like myself most days, like what I do most days, and like how I do it most days, there are plenty of times when, quite frankly, I don't find myself all that likable, and I don't like what I do, nor how I do it. There are parts of every job that we just don't like. When I worked as an associate at a large law firm, corporate deal-making wasn't nearly as glamorous as I would have liked when I was poring over loan documents and employment agreements. The freelance work I do now consists of writing a fair amount of marketing materials for law firms, and while I love writing and continue to find the law fascinating, writing about slip and fall accidents can get to be a bit monotonous at times, and I don't always like it. A teacher might love shaping young people, but not like filling out report cards. A photographer might love taking pictures, but not like the editing process. A nurse might love the patients, but not like completing the charts. Yeah, a photographer works 2 hours on a photo shoot, and he has to work about, 36 hours just on the post process, maybe even a week. As a parent, I certainly don't like wiping snotty noses, supervising homework, giving timeouts, or cleaning crayon off the ceiling. Nor do I always like how I parent. I mentioned the yelling, right? And let's be honest, days filled with excessive snot wiping and yelling can make it pretty difficult to like oneself. There's value in looking to external examples of success as inspirational mentors and personal motivators, paradigms of those characteristics and accomplishments that matter to us, propelling us to do better and be better. Just like there is value in eliminating the extrinsic measures of success. A big house, fancy cars, popularity, a growing bank account, a corner office, and rock-hard abs, in favor of intrinsic measures of success: personal satisfaction, inner peace, purposeful existence, solid relationships, an optimistic outlook, and a resilient character. But all of these measures, intrinsic and extrinsic alike, are ever-changing, undefinable, or fleeting. So if we measure success by these standards, by the attainment of favorable or desired outcomes, success will forever be slipping through our fingers. Perhaps the measures of success aren't the problem. It's our definition of success that is the problem. Success isn't so much the attainment of a desired outcome or result, as Merriam-Webster's dictionary tells us, just like success does not come from having it all, a loaded and lethal phrase in and of itself. So keep that in mind, keep that paragraph in mind. That's our but. Remember SWBST? But. All right. Success is not a victory or result, but a perpetual state of mind. It is learning from external paradigms of accomplishment while listening to a compassionate inner voice. It is the endless pursuit of personal betterment balanced with a comfortable appreciation of the status quo. Success is the aspiration to be the best version of self that we can be while praising myself for seemingly minor victories. It is ambitious motivation quieted by generosity of spirit and radical empathy. By those definitions, success moves beyond something that we strive to attain and becomes something that we can live every day. I should say that again. By those definitions, success moves beyond something we strive to attain and becomes something that we can live every day. Success is something we can live every day. All right. So what I want you to do is go back through this, and you can click on the link in our thing, SWBST chart. You're going to create a chart, so make a copy of this. You worked with the SWBST chart before with Franklin. Now I want you to work with it with Organ, because this is a different article. You know, this is not a story. It's not an autobiography. It's just her trying to define success. Oh, wait a minute. That's an answer on our SWBST chart, isn't it? So who's the subject? In this case, it's the author. So make sure you make a copy of this, and make sure that I'm able to be an editor on it as well. So when you share it with me. What does she want? What does she want to do? And then what's the problem? And then what's her solution to the problem? I mean, is there even a solution? So I want you to think about it. Go back through the article and read, and we'll pick it up once you've finished. I'll give you 30 minutes to work on this, and we'll talk about it.